Hallo und herzlich willkommen zum DOK.fest 2020. A big warm welcome to our 35th edition of the International Documentary Film Festival in Munich. Welcome to DOK.fest at home for obvious reasons. This is how we do the documentary festival this year. I would love to invite you to vote for this film I'm going to talk about for our Audience Award. This is the Kino Audience Award, and you can give a digital applause after the streaming of this film. The film we are going to talk about now is a film that runs in our competition DOK Horizonte, and I would love to welcome the director, Mehrdad Oskouei, and I hope you can hear me. Welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting me for this interview. You know, I love the Munich Film Festival. At different times I participated. I have very, very good time and very good memory from the audience and festival staff, festival director and programmers. And I'm very happy participated again in the international competition in this unique film festival, Munich Film Festival. Yeah.
So it's a big pleasure to have you back with Sunless Shadows. Before we talk about your film, one question to where are you right now? You're not in Iran.
Yes. For 2 months ago, I came to Paris in Rennes, in France and Rennes, the city of my daughter. She lives here in Rennes and she's studying arts, plastic. And in that time, I invited for 11 film festivals for participating and jury members as a jury member. But because of coronavirus, I have to stay here for more than 2 months, and I think I have to stay here 1 month more. But now I'm in quarantine.
And how does the coronavirus affect you so far as a director? I mean, when you think of projects, when you think of shooting, meeting people, going outside, how does it affect you?
It's very difficult because I was in Iran. I was researching about my new project, and now I writing something, researching with my friends, but I couldn't very good. I couldn't research in the in the field, and place in it's in Kerman city in south part of Iran, and but I don't know when we can start our shooting and researching in the field. But it's very difficult for me because I wanted to start in the winter time last year, 2019, but I think I have to wait maybe till autumn or winter.
Yeah, let's talk about Sunless Shadows. This is the 4th film already that you did that deals with people in prison, people who are being locked away. Tell us a little bit about this certain approach in Sunless Shadows. Who are the people we are meeting in this film?
You know, I made 3 films in a rehabilitation center before I participated with Starless Dreams 2016, I think, in Munich Film Festival. Yes. And in my previous film, Starless Dreams, I met with different girls who killed somebody, some relative very, very close to them, like brother, like their fathers and brother-in-law and their husbands, they killed them. And in that time, I think it's very, very special and very important topic for making film about that. But I start my research after the finishing that film. I start researching about 3-4 of the girls and their mothers in the women prison. And I, with my crew, we focus on murdering and killing, and people they did, and I think I have to find a special method for storytelling, a different method for storytelling. And for video diary, I select this method for storytelling between daughters and their mothers. Mm-hmm. Three of their mothers, they're waiting for execution, death penalty in women prison, and their daughters, they are staying in a rehabilitation center in Tehran. And it was a little bit difficult for getting permission. I was waiting more than 6 months for getting get a permission for shooting in 2 different prisons, but they gave me permission, and I start my shooting after 20 days. Mm-hmm. It will be finished, but 2 times they stopped me for shooting, and again they gave me permission for continuing my project. Yeah.
And in the film, the girls at one point they call you uncle. They say Uncle Mehrdad.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of relationship that you?
Yeah, because you know, they are the same age of my daughter and my previous film too. And for this reason, I really wanted to make this film, because I tried to stop coming another girls to a rehabilitation center, and I really, with my friends, close friends, we tried to change something in our law about the people under 18 years old in this age. And for example, in my 2 previous films, in that time, I made 2 films about boys under 15 years old in a special wing in rehabilitation center. And in that time, they called me Uncle Mehrdad, and I said, "Oh, it's very funny. You said to me, Uncle Mehrdad." And it's very, we had very good relationship between me and my crew. Not just me. I call all of my crew Uncle Mohammed, Uncle Wahid, Uncle Parsa. Yeah. After these 2 films, with NGOs and lawyer and different people, we succeed to change the law about boys under 15 years old in rehabilitation center. Mm-hmm. After these 2 films, we don't have any place like that in rehabilitation center in whole country anymore.
Okay.
Because they changed the law for them, and now in a rehabilitation center in Iran, they arrest and they put them there from 15 years old till 18.
Mm-hmm. And the girls, I mean, when I watch the film, I feel like you portray them as beautiful, very smart. They're very likable. Do you see them as criminals?
This is a very good question, because you know, when I was making my second film about boys, mm-hmm. In that time I saw 2 girls with handcuff, yes. And on the cuff on their foot and handcuff on their walking and going in somewhere in east part of the rehabilitation center, mm-hmm. in a special building. And I asked a soldier, who are they? What are doing? And they are girls. And they said, yes, we have a special wing here for the girls in the is part of the rehabilitation center with a very tall wall. And in that time, I tried to get a permission for making film about them. And when I met with the girls, after 7 years, I was waiting more than 7 years for get a permission, because that was the first film, documentary film about girls in the prison in my country, in my history filmmaking. And when I met them, absolutely you're right. They are very clever, likely, kind, very supportive, and for different crimes they were there. But they, before going there, the responsible, some people in the rehabilitation center said, okay, be careful, because some of them, they are thieves and they can pick up something and view, but never. They show us their techniques. But yes, sometimes I said, Uncle Mehrdad, please stand there, and like something, and I said, you are incredible, unbelievable. what you did this? I said different times to them, but never. All of the time they gave us there for bananas, apples, different fruits they had, and they invited us for the dinner, lunch. And I asked myself, who are they? They're criminal person, but they are like my daughter, my very close family. They're not just criminal. I think this is not about them. It's about social problems. And for this reason, I really don't want to cover their faces, because we have different programs in my country. They, boys and girls in rehabilitation centers in Iran, all the time, they said, okay, it's a very bad time for us. Please forgive us, and it's not, be careful, boys and girls, it's not very good things we done, and something like that. After that, all of them are laughing after the Q&A with the TV programs. In that time, I told myself, I thinking very deeply, this is not their true face, their true life of them. And I really wanted, as a documentary filmmaker, I really wanted to show their real face and their real dream, panic, chaos, and different thing in their life. Because I think, as you said, for me, they are very, very good girls and boys.
I mean, it's very obvious when I watched your film that these women and these girls were under horrible circumstances, that they actually committed a crime.
Yeah.
And what I found really interesting was I felt that they seemed almost freer, you know, when they were together in the rehabilitation center, when it was just the women. It was just a very, like a feminine world they were in. And the few ideas we get of what their life would be after the rehabilitation center, once they go outside in the real world, I felt like their life will become more complicated and less free, actually, once they leave the prison.
Yeah, this is a very important situation. When I made 2 films about boys and 1 film about girls,
Mm.
in different festivals, people and audiences ask me why you want to make these films. Why 3 films in one place? I said my stories in this place is not enough for in these 3 films.
Mm-hmm.
One of my big reason for making this film, because after boys and girls going out from the rehabilitation center, the other side of the bars,
Yeah.
I think they don't have any people take care of them, because after that they went with their families, father, mother, and sometimes alone. And I think, what happened for them?
Mm-hmm.
And for this reason, I try to show to my people, especially decision makers, lawyers, and judges. I want to say we need some organization for taking care of them after release.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very, very important point for us. And now we don't have very strong organization, but we have some NGOs. I think it's not enough for taking care of them, all of them. But for this reason, I want to show some alarm.
Yes.
It's very important. They come back to the society and they can do again their crimes. And this is a very important point for us. Thank you for the question.
Mm. And one last question, maybe. Let me think, because I have so many questions left and we're running out of time. Oh, I have so many questions. Give me a second.
You are a very good interviewer. Thank you. I am lucky director.
No,
Yeah,
see
sure.
all my, this looks like the writings of a crazy person.
You watch very careful for my film. Carefully.
I did, yes. I think I would love to ask one last question about your own family history, because you have a very, very strong family history with being imprisoned. I think both your father and your grandfather suffered from that. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's my father and my grandfather and my father-in-law, for the political issues, they were prisoners in different time, more than 100 years ago for my grandfather, more than 50 years ago for my father, and more than around 40 years ago for my father-in-law. And it's funny, but I have 1 year sentence prison for my own, because of my last film. 1 year sentence for going to jail, but I appeal for consideration, but I have to wait for 2 months later. But yeah, this is a very important reason, another reason for making 4 films in prison, different prisons. And for this reason, I want to make 2 films more about men prison and about boys under 18 years. And after these 2 films, I can say I finished my job, my activity, and my responsibility about my people in the prison. And I wanted to say to the people about a real pain, dream, chaos, laughing, everyday life, different thing in a true story with documentary film. And about love, yeah, especially in my new film, Sunless Shadows. My film is about love. It's about hope between daughters and their mothers. It's very, very bad situation. They kill somebody and they're waiting for death penalty. And this connection between them, step by step, will be strong and stronger. And it's meaning of life for me, love for me. And this film is not about, I don't want to say something about dark side of the life. I want to say something about hope, especially in this moment. It's quarantine, it's coronavirus. I think it's split. I think it's
the history will be split.
Yeah, the history will be split in 2 times, before coronavirus and after coronavirus. And I really want to be alive after coronavirus. I do my best, but I don't know what happened in this situation. For example, in my new film, in some part of the film, it's in men prison, and they have many problems with coronavirus. But our government, they released more than 100,000 people. They gave mercy. They gave mercy to them for 2 or 3 months. But I don't know what happened for them. Yes, in my history, different people, they've been imprisoned for example, for my father, more than 5 years.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say a big thank you, Mehrdad. Thank you very much for bringing this very, very beautiful and very touching film, Sunless Shadows. And a big thank you to Alma, your daughter, who was the director of this interview. Thank you very much, Alma. You can see me, I cannot see you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to the both of you, Mehrdad Oskouei, and be safe and have a safe trip at some point home to Iran. And thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much for inviting me for this wonderful and very special interview. I want to put it all of this interview to my mind because it's a very special situation in the world, you know. And I really wanted to meet the people, meet the audience after the screening, and I wanted to them reaction because I can breathe, you know, feel their emotion, feel their thinking, feel their mind after watching my film. And from this way, I learned filmmaking, how to make my new film. And this is a very important situation for me, but I lost it. But I hope they like my film. I hope they can change little thing in their country, the same situation. I know because we have the same people in the different country. You know, can I say one thing more? With my films, I've been many festivals and countries, different parts of the world. And people, especially social workers, they said, after watching my film, they said to me, we have the same story, but with different culture background.
Yeah.
Exactly the same story for our kids and for young adults. And this is very important for this situation with coronavirus. I think people have to think about a one word, not different places, splitted by the borders.
Yes.
You know, this is very important message from this special situation for people around the world. I think after that we can close together, we can help together, because we need it. We need hope, we need love, and we learn from this situation more and more. Thank you very much, Christina, for your very, very good questions. And thank you again for watching very carefully. And you know, one thing more. I think kids, children, and women, they can change our world more than men.
Who else? It has to be the women and the children. I'm sure. So thank you so very, very much. And
thank you.
Hopefully see you soon next year, or who knows when. But be safe and say hi to Alma. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please say hello to our to all staff, programmers and festival directors. Thank you very much.
I will. Thank you very much. Und bitte vergessen Sie nicht, für diesen Film abzustimmen. Please don't forget to vote for this very, very amazing and very touching film, Sunless Shadows. Please vote for the Audience Award. So thank you very much.